y'all. Welcome back. I'm just producing these podcasts faster than I care to. I'm kidding. Welcome in. Another episode. Quest for a Valhalla Paranormal Podcast. So, today, a very special guest. Two special guests. And we're going to have the good old spit counter up. Okay? First guest I would like to introduce. You can already see him. His name is Harry. Hey, Harry. Everybody say hello. He is here to set the tone for the second half of the podcast. Also, this is my other show, Mindfulness Today, the official podcast. And then also, I brought my friend Jameson. I'm probably going to get in trouble for those plugs, but it's a special day, so we're going to drink some whiskey, Irish style, and talk about the paranormal. Whoo! Gotta put hair on your chest, that's for sure. All right. So I want to start by kind of going over what happened to me today. I haven't edited the video for the adventure I had today, but I decided to be a complete moron and go out to a known Bigfoot sighting location close to my house and freaking seriously almost died out there. Like, in a couple hours, I walked over 10,000 steps. I don't know what that equals because I have a giant gait, so I walk. But it was 95 degrees, and it was the stupidest thing I ever did. I barely made it back. So, lesson learned, right? Always pack enough water. I was thinking, like, what did I learn on Survivor Man? You know, about, like, drinking my own pee, but I'm just kidding. That's fucking gross. Anyway, so point of the story is you have a shitty day, drown it with some whiskey, right? That's good. Whew. I'm going to get jacked up. I'm telling you now. All right, so kind of picking up where I left off last night's episode. I was talking about residual and poltergeist activity, residual haunting and poltergeist activity. I said that twice. Sounds nice. Make it twice. And I thought looking back, I think I did a pretty good job explaining them. But now we're going to go into the rest of kind of the last four. Well, wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Last four are very important, at least on this list. And this is Haunted Orange County. I screwed up their name last episode. So here's spit number 1. So let's dive back in here. Right after Poltergeist, if you remember, is more about, you know, the haunting type to be able to move objects, summon the ability to haunt in a physical sense versus just audio and disembodied voices and shit like that. So it's still scary, and I haven't experienced it, at least I think, as an adult. The first one that I want to talk about today is demonic. So again, this kind of dives into more the spiritual aspect of investigating, because I mean, if you don't believe in demons, how can there be demonic activity? So, but it's easy to say, hands down, it's easy to say something's demonic, and not all the time hearing a deep voice warrants the thought of it being a demonic presence. But I think you would know if you were in the presence of a troll or demon, however you want to look at it. So we'll start with the definition. So demons are entities that never had mortal human form. Origins, they're extraterrestrials. You know, if you're Christian, or some, you know, a lot of faiths believe in demons, but they're a type of dark being that hates man, hates God or the gods, and wants to destroy anything related to it. And they have the ability to incorporate the other two types of hauntings. They can do residual haunting styles, and they're able to perform poltergeist activities, loud noises, scratches, you know. If you ever watch Ghost Hunters, Zach thinks that there's always demonic presence, and they get scratched. I think it would be cool to go and try to experience that. Aaron Goodwin gets scratched like all the time. So, and if you're a fan of the show, you'll know they're attracted to him. So he's vulnerable to demons. So if you believe that God and his angels are from the heavens, that could make them extraterrestrial, right? So they don't live around us, but that's up to debate, dude. I'm not even gonna go there, because who's to say that they're not, or you know, especially in my faith, you know, there are Valkyries, there are demigods, there's other spirits, there's kind of like wisps, you know, too, that are, I don't know, not to sound too weird, dude. I'm gonna have another drink. This is still technically neat. That's one of the whiskey rocks in there. Keeps it nice and cool. So who likes to drink hot whiskey? That's fucking gross. But I would still do it if that's all I had. So, spin number 2. So, yes, if you're, let's say, if you believe the angels are of God and of good, then they come down to protect, to help, whatever. They're around us at certain times. Some believe that they're always around us. It's really hard. It's really up to personal belief systems, not preference. So if Satan and 1/3 of the angels rebelled against God, then Satan and 1/3 of the angels that became demons are also extraterrestrial. So we could I'd venture out on a limb and say that they're just not on our plane of existence. That's fine. That's a good way to say it. That is why we never had never had mortal human form, but I don't think angels did either, right? So it's kind of a yin-yang effect. Demons are pure energy entities. They're described in 3 different ways: as angelic, a being of beauty that will manipulate the person to commit something that is sinful or out of the ordinary. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe, like, They say Valkyries are very attractive females, but with, wings the same way as angels, but still can be influential. I have a theory on that as far as my own faith. I believe that Valhalla is already closed, man. I feel like Odin has already found the warriors he needs, and the rest of us are going to be support. Like, if you served in the army, like, he's already picked his special forces group, and we're going to be everything else in the army, because that's our job, is to, I believe our job is to help the gods someday defeat their foes in Ragnarok, right? If you watch the fucking show, the movies, Marvel kind of ruins it. But anyway, Ragnarok is all about the end of the gods, but we have a hand in helping fight with them, and that is its own little resurrection. When it's like it's going to be an epic battle of good versus evil. Some even think that it might already happened, but I don't. Number 2, they could be classified as horrific, evil-looking. Some people claim they see demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. I believe demons do this for the scare effect. They know what we fear. So it's like It, bro. It is a demon, right? Extraterrestrial demon. So if you watch the new ones, which they are really cool, that whole movie is crazy. If you take a step back and minus the fact that it's a goddamn clown, which is terrifying in its own, but he would do things or look a certain way or act. He would act out people's worst fears, and that's how they would succumb to him. So, and then they defeated him by not being afraid, right? Which is a good lesson. So yeah, I think that's where we get some of the medieval paintings that depict demons as being, these evil, just, what I'm talking about. If you think of a demon, you think of something nasty looking. And I've never seen a demon or a troll. I've heard them, but I don't believe that I've seen one. Maybe. Do ex-wives count? No. just kidding. Third is tough, because this is where it's important to really break down what's going on in the location, because they're saying a black mist, black fog, black shadow, black smoke. The occupants claim to be followed by a black mist or fog. So if you go back to the video that I posted when I think it was the third, investigation at the Pioneer Cemetery in Coloma, very, very old cemetery, and I saw that mist, bro, but it was white. I don't know what that would mean. Like, was it a good demon? But even in my faith, like, trolls can be good and bad. Giants the same. So it's hard to differentiate. But I understand that black always is synonymous with evil, black and darkness, right? As far as paranormal goes. I don't know about that though, because you could see a black figure, but this is saying mist and fog, So it's like just a fucking cloud just following you around. Which there are some really cool videos out right now for some of the groups that I follow. So if you go on my Facebook page, same name, you'll see some of the shit that they've captured, especially in the UK. It's amazing. That's number 3. I'm just gonna leave the cap off. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then the 4th is horrific, evil looking. Some people claim. You already said that. Why'd you put it twice? Yeah, they did put it twice. It was a typo. These guys need to revisit their website. It's all good. They seem to be good dudes, though. So they're very strong. Unlike human spirits, they don't mind showing it. That they're strong, I guess. There have been cases where people have been thrown through the air. I don't know about that. Even attacked. I could see like them using the ability to move shit to fall onto you. Or I've seen videos where like a rock has just fucking skipped right past somebody. And that's why I was trying to revolutionize investigations, because I wanted to be able to have a 360 view at all times to see, like, because when you're watching shows and other clips, you're like, well, what is behind you? Or, you know, why you can only see this field of view. So, but I'm still working on that. The 360 at least. I think it'll be cool. They've already had that for a while, but they used 3. They built a stand, and they used 3 GoPros, and it transmits into a circle to where they can just go through each camera and get a 360 view, but it's not like the Insta360 camera where it's like a gimbal where it can, you know, spin around and shit. So demons are tough because it just comes down to your personal beliefs, your belief systems. I mean, it's easy to say demon, especially, you know, when things, it's always been thrown around for a long time, dude. Like, that's demonic behavior because it goes against what they view as what virtuous behavior should be, you know. But virtues are philosophical, man. It's things that were acceptable 30 years ago aren't acceptable today, and that's how society evolves. And I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think this is hitting me really fast because I really haven't eaten too much today, and I'm really tired. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay. They go to the next place down the road if they choose. Okay, so they can choose whether or not they want to exclusively haunt a location or move around. I don't know too much. Like I said, I haven't encountered one, at least that I think. I've been told that I have. That's all I'm talking to is demons and shit. So, whatever, man. The other one I think is very important, and that's intelligent / interactive activity. And I feel that happens more. This type and residual hauntings happen more commonly because, you know, I feel like they're easier for the spirit to manifest. You know, it knew its routine, so it's gonna, for the residual side, right? But the intelligence interactive, that's where it's draws a line where you're like, okay, is this demonic? Is this dark magic energy? What am I dealing with, right? And then to draw, this is what I do when I go to places is I try to draw out intelligent, interactive behaviors, and that is the number one thing I do is I tell them my name and ask if they can repeat it back. If they can, awesome. If they can't, then maybe either it's not haunted or it's just a residual EVPs, part of a little splash of a haunting, That's what I need to do a better job in my shows or in investigations to mix up how I try to draw out that, because I kind of, my go-to is the spirit box, because it's right there, they can speak, but I need to get some more equipment, and I need to first have the money to do that, because I spend it all on Jameson. You know what I'm saying? What do we want? Spin number 4? Anyway, so intelligent, interactive activity as matter beings. So they're made of energy. We are all energy beings, and we are made up of atoms and neutrons, right? Duh, right? As these type of beings, we have intelligence. So again, that ties into that spiritual belief systems, because most religions will just say you have one personality, it dies when you die, right? Or it moves on from this realm, right? And then we have me, where there's 4 parts to I believe there's 4 parts to your spirit, and any one of those parts can be left behind, and the biggest part is your intelligence, and that is what makes up everything about you. It's your being, it's your likeness, it's your ego, your voice, the way you sound, the other parts they're parts from your ancestry, your passed down to you. So it's hard. I'm not trying to get all religious on everybody, and that's what this turns into, because it plays in. You can't have this kind of stuff without religion. You can't have paranormal without religion. It doesn't happen. And that's why I love the community so much that I keep talking about, because there are so many different ways to view these situations, I think the overnight guys on YouTube, they're just posted a show. Fuck, I'm getting drunk, dude. They posted an episode where they are with a coven of witches. I just saw the thumbnail for it, so I haven't watched it yet. But hopefully, if those dudes ever see this, it'd be cool to hang out with them and go explore some places around here, because I don't like to travel too far. Yeah, I'm getting drunk, dude. God damn it. No, my iPad shut off. This is a train wreck. Who would have thought drinking on a podcast was a good idea? Fuck. The aura is created of millions of electrical currents. Yeah, and that can be measured. EMF detectors. There's no other explanation. If you're in a location that has no power source, how can you explain a power source? Yeah. And I'll tell you this firsthand, dude. When I was a mortician, countless times, families would come in, they'd give us a picture of the person, and I would help get them ready for their funeral, right? Makeup and do their hair, all this shit. I would assist. I was not on my own because I wasn't licensed. Which you could do legally, it's fine. Under supervision, though. Don't just go put makeup on dead people. So they would bring in this picture of the person that passed, and you'd see the beautiful picture, that's smiling or whatever, nice headshot, and then you go in and you stand next to the shell that's left, the body that's left, and you're like, bro, that's not the same person. I can't tell you how many times, like, we would do everything we could, and they were like, that doesn't even look like them. It's because they're missing the part that makes them them. And it is noticeable, bro. Whew. Hands down noticeable. You don't believe me? Then you haven't been around. You haven't been to a funeral with an open casket. And if you haven't, that's good, because it's sad shit. But it's true. You can't deny it. No one can. Where the fuck was I? Auras. Which I love everything about auras. Especially when it comes to Reiki and cleansing your aura. I learned at a very young age that I could see people's auras. I don't even have to interact with them. It just has to. I could watch a video, see a picture, but it has to come to me naturally. I can't force it. Like, it's not like I'm like, your aura is orange or some shit. It's got to be there for me to see, even in a picture. I already lost count on the spirit counter, man. Let's get more drunk, hey? So my aura is always changing. So are a lot of people's, but you find, like, I was walking through Placerville, Old Town. It's Gold Rush Town. And I stopped at this antique store because I saw some cool shit in the window. And I started talking to this older lady there that ran a section of it, because it was like everybody had their own section and shit. So, and she just had the whitest aura, and that white is the purest of auras, like glowing. She's the nicest lady I ever met. So sometimes it's radiating, like it's blinding to me. I really started noticing it when I listen to music. I can see colors. Probably think I'm fucking crazy, because I am. I've already told you that. But if I bust out a guitar and start playing, the notes produce colors in my mind. So every song I listen to has a color to it. And a lot of the time it's the same color, a blue or like a velvet, sometimes red, brown, whatever. But then I was like, why the fuck am I seeing colors? And then I would notice it with people as I got older. And it wasn't until I engaged in Reiki that I learned that I was able to see auras. And it's pretty cool. Especially to tell somebody that their aura is a certain color, and they're like, oh my God, because they know auras. And they're like, oh, that means I'm in the right place in my life. Oh, that part's really cool. I'm in no way like a fucking psychic or anything. I'm a psycho. That's for sure. Anyway, let me try to get through this fucking sentence. The aura is created. Yeah, okay, we were there. Our brains create brain waves, which is electronic field in a sense, right? A form of pure energy that is transmitting our thoughts, what we see, and what we feel. And that's just, you don't believe that shit, dude. Go. Any neuroscientist will tell you that it's true. They go on to say, when our mortal bodies die, that aura that consistently surrounds our bodies leaves our bodies. So that kind of, obviously, that they believe the same thing that I've witnessed with what I used to do. We lose 6 ounces. Oh, man. Don't go there, bro. So they're saying that because I forgot. It was a long ass time ago. I don't want to Google it because I'm fucking getting drunk and I'm gonna look like an idiot. I already do look like an idiot. So, but basically, a scientist. There was a terminally ill patient or something, and they had him on a scale. And when he died, he lost 6 ounces. Okay. They had his whole bed and all that shit. I mean, 6 ounces is probably this. I mean, the glass is way heavier. But I don't know. That was like that test with the guillotine where they fucking chopped the dude's head off and they had him blink at him till he was able to blink 10 times. That's crazy to think about. This episode has gone way off the rails, bro. And I'm so grateful if you're even listening to this. I don't think anyone has yet, the second episode, but it's whatever. I get some shit out of this. What is 6 ounces? Perhaps it is energy leaving our body. So can you weigh energy? I don't know. Our soul, this energy, the aura, or you may even call it our soul, is carrying the information that information of what we used to be. If it can do this, then why couldn't it carry our intelligence? Because it does carry our intelligence. Because that is the only thing we get to take with us when we die. Hands down. I believe that. That I will fucking be like that Christian dude and no, you're wrong. Brr. You can't take gold, you can't take silver, but you can take your fucking memories and your intelligence with you. So some of the reasons the ghosts may maybe tied to a site or people in an intelligence type haunting. Died as a traumatic event, murder, car accident, which I've experienced myself. I believe I spoke to Ellen Wilson, also known as Texas Ellen, in Coloma. She was murdered. She was definitely murdered. But the circumstances are, there's a jealous lover theory, and then there's a stray bullet theory. So no one will ever know. But it also helps that she's buried like a half a mile from where she was killed. But I've heard her at both locations, where her brothel used to be and her gravesite. So, and then it's been a few, when I went to Dyer Lane in Roseville, I'm pretty sure I was hearing somebody that was killed out there back in '97. He was speaking Spanish to me, which I gotta learn Spanish, man. It's easier. God, I'm lazy. All I do is podcast and drink. They have unfinished business. I don't know about that. Wouldn't that tie into the first one, right? Just reminds me of the movie Ghost. Fuck. The spirit may have died suddenly and not realize that he or she is dead. That would be intense. I don't know. That is a possibility. Maybe that's why some of them are so engaging with us, because they just think, or they're like, what the fuck are you doing in my house, bro? Or they're pissed because people moved into their house and they think they're still alive. I don't know. The living loved ones are so emotionally distraught that they can't let go. That's a theory. I don't know how you test that. That's a good thought, though. The spirit is emotionally connected to their loved ones. Wouldn't that be like so many of the cases? I know it would be for me, you know. Fuck. Thinking about dying, like I wouldn't want to leave my family. So they cannot rest due to injustice. So that ties into number 1, right? If they're murdered, and even if their killer was caught, I wonder. But they're still living. They're like Old Testament style, you know, eye for an eye. I don't know. Fear of the other side or judgment. I don't know about that one. I'll leave that one up to you to think about. You can always leave a comment too on YouTube. So then we have shadow people and shadow creatures. Yeah. Those are definitely... How you doing, Harry? Man, he's living his best life over there. Just chilling on his throne pillow. There is a type of haunting activity that has no real explanation. They are different from ghosts. They are usually shapeless, dark masses, mostly seen with your peripheral vision. I just headbutted the mic, sorry, with my hat. They're known to do things that are different from ghosts. So now we're talking about a second type of being that was never human. Okay. 2 common types of shadow people are the Hat Man. That looks like he or she is wearing a 1930s fedora hat. And the hooded figure. Ooh, I like that one. So check this out, man. I'm going to give a little spoiler alert. I plan on doing an investigation this winter at Donner Summit. If you don't know history out here, especially the time when pioneers came to settle this state, before the gold rush, the Donner Party made its way out from St. Louis, right? Which is a long fucking trek. They spent some time on the Oregon Trail, then they got lost because the guy they elected to lead the party, one of the Donners, said, well, hey, we'll save 2 weeks if we go this way, and it ended up costing them an additional 2 weeks because they went off the beaten path. That's where that saying comes in, you know? Don't go off the beaten path because your fucking wagons can't handle it. Duh. And the oxen were fucking dying. It was literally like the game Oregon Trail. You know, they were just problem after problem. And when they got to the Sierras and they were coming down, they were trying to come down on the known route to Fort Sutter, which is now Sacramento. They got stuck. And because of that 2-week delay, so it was more of a 4-week delay because it was an additional 2 weeks to the 2 weeks that they thought that they were going to save. They hit the Sierras. It's right where Boreal is now, the ski resort. They hit that in winter conditions, and the worst recorded winter. Like, we haven't had one since. Maybe one or two, but And if you read the history books, they had something like 40 or 87 people, and half of them went to try to push on through the snow with makeshift snowshoes to try to get their way, because they were running low on supplies, right? They had to camp out right there at the Donner Lake. Beautiful area. And so they left a lot of people behind, but a lot of people died on the trek that pushed on. I don't have all the stats in front of me, but it was a lot. And they had eaten all the animals they could, even the dogs. And I know it's too soon. I'm not going to go there. So they resorted to cannibalism in order to survive. And some think, hey man, gotta do what you gotta do. Well, that's pretty fucking insane. Now, archaeologists haven't been able to definitively say that cannibalism took place during that event, but journal entries and from multiple sources talked about how they had to eat those that died from hypothermia or starvation. So it wasn't like they were just like, oh, well, Billy Bob over there, I mean, he's the biggest. Let's cook him up first, and then he objects and gets murdered. It wasn't like that. Not that I'm downplaying cannibalism, but they had to eat their own people to survive. And when all is said and done, I think that the party, they ended up with like 24 out of 87 or something like that in the 20s. Because they actually made it to Fort Sutter, and then they came back with supplies, and that's when they found what they found. So I want to go there and investigate that location. And I think it would be pretty rad. I think that I'm going to get a lot of residual, and I don't know if I would get demonic hauntings there, but I mean, maybe. You gotta be, I couldn't imagine being faced with that decision to eat another human being, like something's got to push you over the edge. I think I'd rather starve. That's just me. I stopped counting my spit. I'm sorry. So anyway, yeah. I want to go and investigate that. There's a museum, there's a tunnel, there's old houses. I want to go in the wintertime to try to have the conditions close to what they had to endure, and I want to investigate it. So that's going to happen in the future, and I'm going to bring Mr. Jameson with me, so he'll keep me warm. That is a proven fact. You are warmer when you drink. Shadow people have noticed discernible mouth, noses, or facial expressions. So what the fuck are they? Just dark beings that just... Do they speak? Some say that they seem to be made up of dark smoke or steam. At times when they move, they appear to be moving in an invisible track from one place to another. I guess that's where, some people think that like an animal, like I went to that cemetery in Gold Hill, and there's supposedly a ghost cat there, and I swear I heard the cat meowing at me, moaning. You have to watch that video too. I'm just promoting my own shit left and right. You know what I mean? But a cat was a living being at one point. So maybe these shadow people or creatures are from animals that are left over or didn't, I don't know, reincarnate. Dude, it's all philosophical. There's too much going on. So I want to move on from that because this shit is a little too whatever. The last section, and this one, I actually believe in this one. It's portal hauntings. So when I use the Phasma box on my computer, a lot of the time I get these crazy, like, over the top bursts of sound, just, and you can hear it sometimes on some of the shows. And they're like, "What?" They asked this. I think it was on Ghost Adventures, and they asked, "What made that sound?" And one of the spirits said, "I don't quote me, but it was referring to a portal, like they were coming through the portal." I believe out at Dyer Lane, there's somebody definitely opened a portal, and they even mentioned it on the spirit box. I didn't even ask. That was a cool thing. It was broad daylight too. Yeah, portals I think are in crazy places, magnetically charged places, also mirrors. And that's terrifying because there's a fucking mirror right there. And for the longest time, I didn't even know how a mirror worked. Like how the hell did they get it to reflect? I was not very smart as a kid. It's okay. But yeah, a lot of portals, they say, portals aren't really a new concept. We've seen them in a lot of sci-fi flicks. Yeah, Poltergeist movie, the TV was a portal, in a sense, right? She got sucked into the TV. The Ring, that's a portal. But the real world portal hauntings are considered controversial as there are little known, and the idea is mostly theory and speculation. Like most of the shit we're talking about, it's theory and speculation. Portals are thought to be doorways to another world or dimension, which entities travel through. Yeah, I don't disagree. I did before I was recording and shit. I think I was on TikTok Live though, but something kept telling me to go into my own bathroom because there's something with my mirror in there, and I hate that. I hate the fucking room. It's always negative in there. Maybe. What bathroom's positive, right? Well, one of the spirits came through and said that it's a portal. So, and I was watching a live earlier where they were trying to work with a portal. Now, the theories on closing portals, that again comes back to belief systems. It really does. So yeah, those are kind of if you have a portal haunting, that can be pretty bad because it's like it's like leaving your front door open. Anyone can come in. So those are probably those type of hauntings where you have the people experience something different almost every day. Nothing's consistent. There's all these different types going on. They're seeing shadow people. There's poltergeist activity. There's residual hauntings. Who knows if that's how they travel fast, is through portals. Not all mirrors are portals. So, but anyways, enough about this shit. I want to talk about the Bigfoot expedition I did today. And the next one, Dude, I've got so much shit in the works. It's going to be so much fun. Even if I don't get anything, I was so dumb to think that I could even fucking see anything. But some of the new videos out there of Bigfoot are pretty amazing. Makes you really question it. And it's hard, like, if my big ass were to put on a ghillie suit, you know, and go out hide in the bushes, you would think I was Bigfoot from a far distance. Well, let's go to this website. Bingo. Damn, dude. Washington is just filled with Bigfoot sightings, bro. I know you can't see any of this shit, but they are... What fucking town is that? That's Lodi? I was up. Urban legend Bigfoot sighting. Sighting code number 1. Zoom in. Doesn't that give me the fucking details? Anyway, so the lady, I found it on a different website where the lady, you know, went out to ride her horse on the trails, which a lot of people do there. It's beautiful, and it's federal land, so you could do a lot there. I mean, you can openly carry firearms, and you could shoot if you wanted to, as long as it was safe. But I don't know. I took mine today just for protection, but not from the heat and lack of water. I didn't protect against that. So this instance, she was riding her horse. She rode down to the river. I went to the location where she said she stopped. It's at a picnic area, which is a very common area. And when she started getting, she took her horse down to the river to water. She looked downstream and saw what she thought was a Bigfoot creature walking into the tree line, which was the only mental image that she can remember was the fur on his backside. So I went down to where I thought I could see, and there's no evidence. There's too many people around. But, you know, I had a theory, like, because California, we're always in a drought, and it's always fucking hot and dry, that if you're a hunter, like, I used to be a hunter, but I'm not anymore because I don't want to mindlessly kill beautiful creatures, but unless I have to eat it, you know what I mean? But when it stays hot like this for 4 or 5 months, they get pushed way up into the mountains, like way up high, because they fucking have fur and shit. They can't survive down here when it's 100-something degrees. So they move up into the high elevations, and they're constantly, you know, they're herbivores as well. So they're eating all the berries and shrubs and whatever, the good shit. And it's believed that's what Bigfoot eats too. So it would make sense because the river has a lot of nice fish in it. Brown trout. Some of them have salmon. Small salmon, not big ones. But, I mean, to me, it would be logical that he would come down into the foothills and he would have a water source. And there are cave systems all over that whole region, the Gold Country. There's old mine shafts. Like, he could easily be hiding somewhere. It's a logical theory, but it's not true. Anyway, I've talked your ear off too long. I have to finish this drink, and I hope this episode wasn't as bad as I feel it is. So I love getting full swing into these things. I do want to go back out to Preston Castle. I have some ideas for Halloween, for the 31 days of Halloween, and it would be cool to interact with y'all to get some other ideas, or keep saying this, y'all have a place that you're like, I think it's haunted, come check it out. Whether it's a place you work, your home, whatever. I mean, I'm not a weirdo or that weird. Like, we make it as comfortable as possible. But the video, the live I saw, the woman that was being haunted by what appeared to be demonic, they were there with her the whole time, and it was sparking activity. So if you need help, reach out, man. I'm just a small time thing, but there are bigger groups that can help, and knowledge is power, and knowing what you're dealing with it might make you rest easier at night. So biggest thing is don't be scared, because some of them feed off that shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm all over the place when it comes to podcast distribution. iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon, whatever, dude. I'm there. Just look it up. You see my country ass on there. I love y'all, and keep hunting.